Happy Monday, you wonderful people. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Damage Counters podcast. I'm Shifu Stu, and as always, I'm here with Snipe the Bench
What's going on?
and Chef Husky.
How y'all doing?
All right, guys, so this week we got a pretty clean slate ahead of us with some big topics to cover. The first thing we want to go over is the Champions League results. 5,000 people in a single tournament merits looking into some of those deck lists. We've also got a huge set coming out with Destined Rivals. The Team Rocket stuff is looking insane. And then we also have a special deck list review for Snipe the Bench and his competitive deck that he's taken to Atlanta. So I want to start it off with saying crazy decks in the Champions League. We actually saw a Frostlass Monkey Dory in the top cut, but of course the number one deck was Dragapult. Snipe, tell me how you feel about that.
I'm thinking that a lot of people played it, which is why. But if you look at it, there's what, five out of 16. That's pretty high.
So, it was 30% of the tournament. I think 31ish.
Yeah. Well, and 30% of 16 is about 5. So I mean, it's probably a pretty good deck.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing that it's not getting stopped whatsoever. It's going to continue to be the best. But what's crazy to me is that it actually beat Gardevoir in the finals.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it be? You're taking most of the time if they have a counter catcher or boss, they can take 2 prizes.
Yeah, I wanted to believe that Monkey Dory was the answer and then Lily's Clefairy, but yeah, Dragapult just doing too much. I think Dusknoir continues to be super strong. Chef, I know that you don't love Dusknoir, but I'm going to stand by it for the rest of life. I love that card.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, Dusknoir is very good for what it does. You know, you lose a prize in the process, but 130 damage wherever you feel like, and from an ability that can't be blocked by anything in format, pretty good.
I think the only way you can block a Dusknoir is to have a Gastrodon on your bench.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, I say this all the time when I'm looking at deck lists and stuff, you're too deep. You're just way too deep in the lines at that point. I think Gastrodon was a bust. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll say it.
No,
I think you're right.
I tried it actually in a Dragapult deck to counter Dragapult, and too bulky. You don't need it. Or
Snipe,
maybe
did
you
you
do.
have a video of a deck list a while back where you ran like Gastrodon and all sorts of shutdown stuff in the same list?
Yeah, that's the list I'm talking about. It was Dragapult with
Okay.
Gastrodon. I had Genesect with a tool, so they couldn't do their ace spec. Obviously, you had to do it before they got their ace spec. And then Toadschool to stop all those O-code
Yep.
decks with superior energy retrieval.
Yeah, I love that list. One of my favorite videos for sure that you've put out. I love everything you make, but I remember watching that one and being like, wow, this is devious. And in the same devious nature, I just saw a City League Archaludon deck today that runs 2 Genesects. It's just a full Archaludon line with Relicanth, 2 Genesects, Pheasantipity, and it's playing.
That's it.
I love it though. I think ace specs are so strong right now. Prime Catcher is the best card as far as ace specs.
I'm assuming they played Trolley to try to get it out as fast as possible.
No, they were playing Scoop Up. So I think the Relicanth combo with Archaludon benefits a lot more from Scoop Up because then your opponent doesn't know, are they going to use the attack that builds up with more damage or are they going to reset it to 0 this turn, right? And I think it makes the decision game harder.
Absolutely. I mean, that would just depend on what's in the active.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Back to this Champions League, though. I don't want to derail us. We also had Raging Bolt and Milotic in the top 5 deck list. Have either of you played the Wall Milotic yet?
I have, yeah.
How'd you feel about
I
it?
think it's the one that only blocks terrors, right?
Yeah, not the Turo blocker, the Terra blocker.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's balanced. I do like that it not only does prevention of damage, but it also prevents effective attacks as well. So it's really nice in the Dragapult matchup. But I don't have an issue with with the walls deck as it is. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely think it's healthy. It was interesting to note that there was a heavy Farigiraf line in this deck, and I think that was just in anticipation for a lot of Guardy decks in the tournament. I'm not a huge Farigiraf guy. I get it's better than Mimikyu, but in my head, I'm like, why would I not just run the one prizer with the same effect?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the deck I am, well, other than Frostlass Monkey Dory, which I want to talk about, but Terra Box. I'm really thinking about getting into this deck list. I'm loving it. It feels like you have every option ever, but what's crazy to me is you don't run the exchange ticket, or maybe that's the wrong word for what that item is. The new one that changes your prize cards out.
I
Redeemable.
think it's redeemable ticket.
Yeah.
So my question for both of you guys, and we'll start with Chef, is when you're deck building and looking at these deck lists that you find and watching pro players build their decks, and you see so many one of cards, how do you decide what cards to make one ofs and which ones are you okay just saying if this gets prized, that's fine? To me, it seems really detrimental to prize some of these cards in the Terra box. So,
It does. It does
Chef.
feel bad. Yeah, it does feel really bad. I am the kind of person that does that. Whenever I build decks, I kind of make it kind of toolboxy, where I have a lot of one ofs for a lot of different matchups. And yeah, no, you're right. Pricing it feels terrible. That's why I loved Hisui and Heavy Ball for what it was. I'm kind of okay with it being gone, and I think exchange ticket or redeemable ticket um, definitely helps with that. But also, it's kind of hard to control without things like Cypher Maniac or what's the other one? Academy at Night.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it kind of awkward to control. But I think with these toolboxy kind of decks, that's kind of the price you pay. You get less consistency, but you have options. You have a lot of ways out for a lot of decks.
Yeah, I know we had that exact conversation about consistency versus total options in a deck when it came to how we were building the Frostlass Yuxi, actually, because I was telling you what I was looking at for post rotation, and then you sent me your list, and I realized just how many matchups I could not beat because I focused on consistency more.
Yeah, yeah, that is how I build. Very much options for everything, but also sometimes you prize it, sometimes you can't get it, which does feel bad. It's like I need the one thing to beat this particular matchup,
Mm-hmm.
and it's prized.
Yeah, that's what
It just
kills
happens
me.
that way. Yeah.
So Snipe, you're in the competitive circuit. You're taking the big names out. What is your approach to it? I know you're a big 222 guy, but what's your approach to the one ofs and prizing?
You just hope it's not prized the game you need it. Obviously, if you're playing a one of, it's probably a tech for something. And it's also
Yeah.
different based for deck building if you're playing at like locals where it's a one, best of one. If it's that important, and also locals, you build different because you see what people like to play. So obviously,
Yeah.
you're going to see the same people all the time, most of the time. Uh, and if it's a one of and you need it, you got to play two. Best of three, you only play one. You just hope it's not prized. And the chances of it being prized 2 games in a row. And I don't think there's a card that you're going to play a one of where if it's prized, you're just done. Well, because then you better play two. So there's a lot that goes into whether you're playing one, two, or even three of a card. Um, lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Not options, but variables. A lot of
Yeah.
variables, whether it's best of one, best of three. I mean, it's just way too many. It just depends on what you're playing and what the heck everybody else is playing.
Yeah, I think that brings up a really great point, right? You have to be able to know what's going to be played in the tournament that you're playing. And then you got to ask yourself, how many techs is too many to put in my list, right? I can tech for Dragapult. I can tech for Gardevoir. Maybe I tech for Terrabox. When do we get to the threshold of you're doing too much? What's the number for you?
It's got to be a deck that is at least in the top two or three being played at. I believe I've heard a bunch of different numbers. But if it's not 10%, don't even bother. Because if you think about it, and you go
Okay.
to like these big tournaments where you're playing 6 rounds, you know, you're you're only going to hit it once on average, and you might not
Hopefully,
hit.
fingers crossed, right?
It's a lot of it is just matchup luck, and during that matchup, if that one card's not prized.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I think that it all makes a ton of sense that way. It's just for me, it's hard perspective to figure out because I play the ladder, right? The first time ever being in like a best 2 out of 3 tournament was actually in the creator cook off, which was super fun. And we'll definitely talk about that at some point in this video. But hearing you talk about it, it's like, all right, that makes a ton of sense. So now I got to ask you the top 3 decks being played. What's your answer to Dragapult, Raging Bolt, and Guardy, right? Those are all above 25% play rates in a 5,000 person tournament.
Yeah, that's that in a 5,000 person tournament. Obviously, I've never played that much, but and the other thing is, it's their only tournament. That's it. You know, we have Atlanta coming up, which is the first, literally the first day. But then I think in a couple weeks is Milwaukee. So Milwaukee's going to look totally different based on what happens in Atlanta,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you got this 5,000 person tournament. They have no pre-tournament beforehand to go, okay, this is what everybody played. It is just one and done. That's it. It's pretty crazy. And it's
They're
also,
also playing in a meta we don't have and we'll never play in.
yes, because they got the heat wave, I believe, and we get the heat wave
Yep.
and the other one in Destin Rivals. We get them both at the same time.
Yeah, which is a whole different conversation at how big this next set is compared to what we've had in the past. But yeah, it's a crazy way to host a tournament, right? Like I love seeing the Champions League results, but I also wonder, you know, how much of this is just like statistics and the weak decks weeding out and maybe getting bad odds in it, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that could go wrong for you in a 5,000 person tournament to make top cut.
Plus, it's best of one, which, I mean, you
Yeah.
brick, it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's totally different game.
And that's where, like you said, I would base my deck on a best of one that big, more consistency to make sure I get to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you only plan to play against the 3 big decks, right? You say, if I see anything else and I can't play against it, screw it. Bad luck.
Yep.
So, Chef, the creator tournament, now that I mentioned it, it was awesome. It might not be a 5,000 person Champions League, but man, you crushed it. You brought together so many big names. You had this awesome tournament going live for how many hours? 10?
I was live for 10 hours, yeah.
Dude, tell us how you feel about it, the aftermath, the fallout, how many hours of sleep you got immediately after closing the stream. Give us the rundown. We want to hear it.
All right. We'll see, yeah. So I started the day out hosting it with Ginge TCG. Great guy, by the way. He went all out for this. You know, he created the play mats. He did a lot. And he's a natural shoutcaster. He's so good at it. But he had to go about halfway through, and I kind of kept it going after that. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this without him after how well he did. And then I did a little bit of After Crash came on for a little bit
Yep.
and commentated on one of them, and then you helped me finish out the rest of them.
Yeah, we went all
which
the
was
way
nice.
to the
I
end.
appreciate you for doing that. But the whole time I was microdosing on NyQuil because I was fighting off a cough. So the moment that I hit stop record, I just hit the pillow and I did not wake up till the next. I was so tired because
Yeah.
like I'm a very awkward dude, so like I'm not used to socializing. So I keep my streams under 2 hours usually. 2 hours for me is a long stream, but 10 hours is unheard of for me. So being in that presenter mode for 10 hours, kind of exhausting. But it was all worth it because I think everyone had a good time. I had a couple people DM me being like, this was the most fun I've had playing Pokemon TCG in a long time. And I looked at everyone else's comment sections. They're like, this looks like such a fun format. You should do this again soon. And so I would like to do it again. I don't know if I want to do it soon, but but it was a great time. A lot of good feedback about the format too. A lot of the complaints that I got about the format were kind of what I expected. Where some people didn't like the mirror match idea. Some people thought that people weren't playing to the spirit of the competition. I don't know if you were there for that conversation.
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah.
Yeah, where Scoville and EX got picked, and then some people, because it's how trash of a card it is right now. Without damage pump, without magma basin, it's kind of bad.
Scorch.
Yeah,
I believe I had a good round that round. What do you think, Stu?
I don't think we need to talk about it on this podcast. It just doesn't feel like it's relevant. Yeah. Chef, keep going.
You guys
don't let us cut
you
you off.
You guys both did so well in the tournament. I think you guys were both 3-0 when you played that match. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys, man. Happy to see that.
But somebody had trouble putting damage on their own Scoville.
Dude, I made a grave mistake. We'll talk about it another day.
I actually have no idea how your match went. I know that Snipe won it, but
So a quick rundown. I played Poison Package. He played Burn Package, thinking to myself, oh, I'll just poison my Scovillain, get some passive damage. Forgetting that he has Scovillain also. It's a mirror matchup. I'd be giving him more damage. And so I just totally botched it. But we had the most back and forth, grueling games against each other. It was a blast.
It was.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Scovillain,
awesome.
it was a little bit of a hot topic.
It was a hot topic because it's so bad without its all its key pieces. People weren't using it enough, right? So people were putting it in the background of other decks, and so that created a little bit of tension. They're like, is this really in the spirit of the competition? Are people using it enough? And so that is one thing that I want to figure out going forward, because that I use this very similar format for my Discord posts. So if that's a problem, if people are not playing to the spirit of the competition, you got to look into that some more.
I think overall it was played really well. I think most decks were designed really well around the hot card, the one chosen. And I guarantee that if you ask anyone from the tournament today how they feel about it, it might be totally different feedback, right? Heat of the moment, mid-tournament. I lost to Snipe, had a great time, blast. Then I lost in the top cut to Poison Package myself, got a taste of my own medicine. I was super salty right in the moment, right? It just happens. We're all competitive players. We want to win. But I bet people looking back probably all feel like it was played in a good level of fairness. I mean, yes, some decks, I know that there was a game where Scovillain didn't even hit the board. So that is a different conversation. But no one is trying to cause problems in a tournament like that when it's all for fun.
Right. Yeah. But overall, I think it was a positive experience. Sorry.
No, my first rounder was Masquerada, and I was like, all right, everybody's playing Masquerada, probably gonna use attack, so I just chucked in one Cornerstone. I was like, all right, see if it works. I placed it down. He quit. He goes, forget
No
it.
way.
He's like, I don't have an answer. I was like, I figured that was gonna happen.
What did you play?
I played all my Masqueradas on the bench, puts Cornerstone up, and kept just chucking damage all across everywhere, and he couldn't attack.
It sucks.
Do you remember who you played? Let's go ahead and shout them out. Shout out their channel.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head. So many days ago.
Well, I'll start with a shout out to Jack Rabbit, who beat me. So since you took me out of the tournament, shout out to you on the podcast. Go check him out.
Yeah, dude, it made me so happy to hear you guys talking about collabing.
Yep.
Because that's the goal. That's what I really wanted, was just to bring everyone into to one place so that we could all start making content together.
Oh yeah, and we got some collabs on the way. I know I was talking to you and Pokey Scout earlier. Snipe, I definitely want to talk to you about this, but I've got this concept for a once a month series. My goodness, a once a month series where it's King of the Hill. And it's just a few people in a Discord call all just playing King of the Hill. Whoever wins the match stays on the table, has to keep the same deck, and someone else has to come try and take them down. We're all watching it, spectating, just chatting, basically playing card games at the kitchen table type vibe.
Sounds good.
I've also got a collab coming up with Vanilla Magikarp. We're doing a 5v5 where I'm gonna get 4 other creators to be joining my team to take on his 4, and I would like you guys on my team, my podcast squad.
Oh yeah, you know I'm there, dude.
I'm in.
What is this? What's the format of it? Give us a rundown.
Similar kind of deal where we're gonna do like a spin the wheel kind of thing, except we're gonna kind of pair off based on what matchups there are, and we're gonna decide that. We're gonna decide like, okay, we'll have Snipe do the Meowscarada, we'll have Stu do this one, we'll kind of coordinate together as to who's taking which matchup and against which player.
That is gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to watch that content because you get to cherry pick who's the best player at that playstyle.
Right, exactly. And then we're all gonna build it together. We're all gonna kind of like sit in one spot and just build together as a team, and then send them off to do their thing.
And it's all mirrors?
All mirrors, yep.
Okay, so yeah, and I hear what you're saying earlier about exploring the format and all that. I love the mirror match format. I think it is really fun to play and watch if you're going into it expecting a mirror match format, right? But you've got to give us a creators tournament where we're just playing good decks. Because I'd love to play some of those people from the tournament with like their favorite play style. I saw a lot of high level play that I'm not really used to seeing, just on the ladder chilling. And I'd love to see those people playing all their favorite decks.
We could. I mean, it doesn't even have to be me. I'm in there, but want to set one up, I'd be down to join it.
I definitely would be about it, but you're kind of the guy now. You brought everyone together. You're the messiah of the ptcgl YouTube community. Wow, say that 3 times fast.
More like the Nick Fury.
More like the Nick Fury. Okay, all right. Eye patch on, the munchlax and everything. It's perfect.
I didn't even think about that. No, I just heard somebody in my Who's That Pokemon video where Machamp King, shout out Machamp King, by the way, he hosted it. And somebody commented, like, this is starting to become like the MCU of TCG.
Who? Golly, was it Furt Twister that hit up our first video with the big 3 of cooking?
Yeah.
That was a hype comment.
Yeah.
Loved that. I loved the comments on it. I definitely want to see people drop questions for us coming up into this next episode as well. I want to have some stuff to answer and do, some more community sections in each video. But we're about a third of the way, actually a little over a third of the way through our normal time block. So I definitely want to go over Destined Rivals. I've got it pulled up over here, but how much of you guys dove into this new set?
I was trying to be as blind as possible, but I'm looking at it now.
I have not.
What about you, Snipe?
I have not looked at it much, considering I've been doing that cook-off thing and then making videos and preparing for Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
I know a couple cards that were interesting. The Yanmega, the EX.
I'm very excited.
That's an interesting one to figure out.
Have you guys seen Team Rocket's Moltres EX?
The Moltres EX. What to do?
So it's got an attack for 1 fire and 3 colorless energy. Pretty stout. If you discard a Team Rocket's energy from this Pokemon, you may discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all attached cards. I think it sounds really cool and like an awesome crescendo, but I don't think it gets played. I could be wrong.
Isn't it cost like 4 energy?
Oh yeah, and you got to discard a Team Rocket's energy.
Yeah.
And as of now, we only have 1 Team Rocket's energy, so you have to find one of your 4 to get on it with 2 other energy just to discard, not even KO.
Yeah, that's sounds great, but I'm with you. I don't think it's going to see any play or very, very tiny. I mean, I'll make.
No, I think
I'll make a video on it. Just discard.
Oh yeah,
people.
for sure. Yeah. I think like a turn 2 If you could actually open with it somehow, it'd be hilarious. I think late game, it could actually be funny to like just drop someone's entirely charged up Charizard. Uh,
Why is everybody
but I
always
think
beat
out
up on
of
Charizard?
well, I think we beat up on it because it's just like it's so easy to get a fully charged Charizard,
Well,
right?
yeah.
You didn't have to like sparkling crystal and one energy and evolve to a Dragapult. You just had to have Charmander, Rare Candy, and Charizard. That's it.
Is it?
There are more good fire Pokemon though. The Ethan's deck is actually kind of making some waves. Have you guys looked into it?
I did, and I'm liking it because it makes a good partner for Goldango. I see. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but there's a lot of the Ethans with Goldango paired.
You and Goldango, man. We will get into that.
Oh, yeah.
I think as far as the trainer cards from this new set, not super like impressed. I think Marnie's Grimmsnarl is awesome, but it's not like an amazing deck by any means. Morpeko only has a 20 multiplier. I think Misty's is pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen the Gyarados, it does 70 times the amount of Misty's Pokemon you discarded from the top 7 cards of your deck when you attack, which means you can hit massive numbers for a single prizer, but there's a lot of setup in it, so I'm not super keen on it. Stevens looks pretty good, but what I really want to get into are these Team Rocket cards. Have you guys seen the Mewtwo?
Oh, yeah.
I have, yeah.
I'm excited. I think it looks cool.
280 basic. That's pretty crazy. I mean,
280 basic
Solid.
plus you're hitting for 280.
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Can't attack unless you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play, though.
Well, that's fine. And I think Team Rocket's Mewtwo is a tech card in a Rockets deck, right? You just already get to play it. You can get its energy cost just by using a Team Rocket's energy on it. You can discard the Team Rocket's energy for the 280 damage attack. I feel like to me, it's like putting Mew in any other deck and saying I might use Mew's attack. And then on top of that, we got the Team Rocket Sneasel, Team Rocket's Crobat stuff. A lot of damage counter moving. The Sneasel looks super interesting. It's got a crazy attack where it does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon for every damage counter on it. I could see that in like a Uxie deck. I know I'm in your territory, Chef, but in a Uxie deck, I feel like that would go pretty hard.
You know what I'm eyeballing right now? Is Team Rocket's Tyranitar.
Oh, yeah?
This could be nuts in Uxie. As long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's basic Pokemon during checkout.
Oh, that is nice. Oh, dude, Miraidon just gets lit up by that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a stage 2. I mean, how many are you putting, like, one line of it in the deck?
Probably.
Because you can't get a Uxie attack off and keep that in active. So do you just, like, stall with it in active while Frostlass is putting counters?
I'll have to mess with it. Yeah, that's my first thought.
I mean, I like it. I think it's tanky, and I love spread damage. I love it in abilities. I'm not, like, as keen on the attacks, but... Team Rocket's Golbat and Crobat. Have you guys seen these? This is what I'm excited for. The Golbat putting 20 damage on anything you want whenever you evolve it. And then the Crobat putting 20 damage on 2 Pokemon whenever you evolve it. I am so excited. I was messaging Chef about this. Was it yesterday I sent you this? Anyway, Team Rocket's Crobat EX. Its attack reads, you do 120 damage. This is for 2 Dark Energy. You may put this Pokemon into your hand. Discard all other cards. In a poison package deck, I think this could be the answer to build like an all-inclusive poison deck. You get to tank with 310 HP, and then attack for 120, bounce it back to your hand, and put Pecharunt in the active.
It's so strong.
Yes, I saw
Dude,
where you
I'm
were
It
going with
is
that.
very strong.
Yeah,
You
I'm so ready.
you think this could be Grand Treat?
I don't think no, its ability won't work if you Grand Tree. You have to evolve it from your hand. So I think it works really well
Oh,
in a poison package deck because you're already filtering so much of your deck turn one. You just play a heavier Night Stretcher line. You've already got the Super Rod in the deck. You're really just using this as a way to take poison package from a turn one deck to, hey, I can suddenly get big KOs, take big hits, and self Turo out of the problem. I'm super excited for it.
it is very cool.
And we do have the Team Rockets Persian, which, if you guys haven't seen this one, you reveal the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck, choose one of the Pokemon, and use one of its attacks.
Yeah, I saw that. It's gonna be like a just a funny video deck. That's gonna be another card that is never gonna take off.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be LDF's first Bad Deck Friday, right?
Yeah.
Like the set comes out and he's dropping it.
I think so.
Other than that, though, I'm not like super hyped up on the other cards in the set. Again, I think I could do without the Stevens Metagross. Although, Chef, you had a really good short on the Stevens Metagross and how tanky you can get that thing.
Oh yeah, that thing can get really tanky. And then I love me a good tanky deck. You add on that Full Metal Lab, add on what else do we got?
Heroes Cape.
Format. You can Heroes Cape. You can do a bunch of things with it. You got those Bronzongs that can reduce amount of damage taken.
Yeah, until I
There's some.
Moltres EX and just discard it.
You're not going to use multi.
No, I think the set will be good. I think there are a lot of good cards in it. The Satitan looks really cool. I think that's going to be a great card.
Regirock hype.
Regirock, yeah, love seeing Reggies. I wish we were getting an EX of every Reggie, which we're not. I'm a Reggie Ice guy. Let's go ahead and what are your guys' favorite Reggies?
Regidrago EX. Just kidding. That's too soon. Too soon. Too soon. I would say Reggie Steele if not for the fact that his default spread is a Hitler salute.
Dude, what?
What? What?
You never his original default sprite for Reggie Steele was a Hitler salute.
Oh,
Look it up.
did not know
Oh
that.
my god. Oh my god. Reggie Steele. Okay, so Reggie Steele for Chef, despite some shady political history. Snipe?
I mean, I would want the one with the ability, Ancient Wisdom. I think that's the Regigigas, right?
Well, in the VGC and in the games, Reggie Gigas has slow start, like the worst ability of all time.
It is the worst ability.
It halves your speed stats, I think attack stats, and something else for the first 5 turns that it's on the field.
Let's see. I have zero clue about the video game.
Well, for any VGC players out there who are watching, just know that Snipe's favorite is Reggie Gigas.
Okay. If I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick one with the ability.
Well, they all have abilities, right?
Oh, I was talking about the card game.
So yeah. He's okay. I see what you're saying. In that case, give me a Lecky.
Okay, Reggie Likey. I mess with that.
Less problematic.
I wish there was ever a Reggie Ice card or I guess it's Reg Ice, but I wish there was a card that actually worked. It's just like Suicune. I wanted to make the Suicune that has the run through attack where it does 30 to active and 30 to the bench. I wanted to make it work so badly. It cost way too much energy and it was solely a Budew counter, but I spent like a week trying to craft a deck on that card and I regret it.
Waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Suicune's my favorite legendary dog, and I love the Pokemon. But if the card isn't meant to be, it's not meant to be. You got to give it a rest.
I remember doing that with Ninetales EX. It was like towards the end of the format. I was like, all right, let's see. Is there anyone I haven't touched? I was like, oh, Ninetales EX. Let's go play with it. I tried for 2 days. I'm like, this card is awful. There is
The one
nothing.
where the hand size has to be the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I just kept trying to judge. And it was just so bad.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that with the new Noivern, which as long as you and your opponent have the same hand size, it can attack for free.
Don't
And
waste
I
your
was
time.
thinking maybe those two would be awesome together, but now that you say that, I'll probably just pass up.
Just pass. Don't waste your time.
Okay, we're getting sent the sprite of Reggie Steele. I'll it's something. It's something. I'm gonna say Reggie Steele had no malice in his heart there. Not sure that Reggie Steele has a beating heart, to be honest. But enough of bad cards
Yeah.
and bad Pokemon. Snipe, I believe that you are a fan of a very good Steel type Pokemon that
Yeah.
might also have some Ghost typing. And if I'm not mistaken, the partner it's paired with also has some Ghost typing. You want to enlighten us a little bit and give us the full rundown, the lines, the spreads. We got time left in the cast. Take it up, man. Eat it.
Cool. So you're talking about Goldengo with Dragapult, which is what I'm gonna go play.
I'm talking, yeah, your list specifically.
Yeah.
The Snipe the Bench special.
Yeah. All right. So we're taping this before the Atlanta, but it's not gonna air until after Atlanta. So here it is. Here's what I played. Now, hopefully, I do well and I can do my own video, but we'll see.
Also, I will put it on the screen
Yeah.
in editing here. So I will replace the screen with Snipe's deck list so you guys can look at it while he's explaining this. Or I might just like move our cameras around. We'll edit it how we edit it, but go ahead and do it now and we'll just figure it out.
Yeah. So the first thing you'll notice is I went down to a 3/3 Goldengo. 4/4 is great. You always get them out, but you really only need two. And then I play, to counter that, I play two Night Stretchers to get at least hopefully one back if I need it. Dragapult is a 2/2/1 because it's really to counter Terrabox. Not Terrabox, the walls deck. So they don't just block me with Cornerstone. So now I can get through Cornerstone. Obviously Fez, and then here's the kicker. Not only am I playing Klefki, I'm playing three. It just shuts down Poison decks. It shuts down Fan Rodom. It shuts down Teal Mask Ogrepon. It shuts down anybody who wants to squawk to give me more time because I'm going to try to go second and try to hopefully find that Klefki. So that's why I played with 2 and 3. Obviously, I started with 1, and then it was just so good. I went to 2. And then I was like, oh, this is really good, but I'm not starting with it enough because I wanted in the active going second. So I was like, all right, let's go to 3. So I did sacrifice the Monkey Dory. When I played, it didn't come into that many situations because I mean Goldengo's just gonna OHKO anything anyway. So, and if I'm bringing up Dragapult, it's gonna be what against Gardevoir? Obviously, the Walls deck if I need it, or any other one prize deck where I'm trying to take 2 prizes at once. So that's all the Pokemon. For trainers, obviously 4 Buddy Buddy, the 1 counter, the A-Spec gonna be the Energy Search Pro. 1 vessel just to get out more energy, and you'll see why when I tell you what the energy count is. Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, 2 of each. Try to get out what I need. 1 Pokegear. I wanted 2, but couldn't fit it. I already took out a Goldengo and a Gimmighoul. Obviously, the 4 Superior Energy Retrieval. 1 Switch. And the brand new card, which I was waiting to put in there, is going to be the Lavencia Stadium. You only need 1. It acts like an extra energy retrieval, and if it sticks, you basically have 2 energy retrievals because it does get back those 2 lightning. We'll talk about the energy in a second. 2 boss. I only had 1. I went up to 2. I found room. And 3 ciphers. I did not, when I first started playing this, I played 0 ciphers. And then I went to 4 to see how it would work. And you don't need 4 because I kept finding on my first turn. I don't want it on my first turn. So I went down to 3. 1 Iono for disruption. And then the Dragapult tech. You want to talk about tech cards. Now, it doesn't only tech against Dragapult, but maybe our Chaladon 2, who can now hit for 260 with the poison and everything, and the Mochi,
Yep.
is the Rigiband. So that obviously gives me 290 HP, which is huge because it passes that magic number 280. And then you'll notice there's an energy missing. And that's because I had to double up on a bunch. So I don't play the 8 different types. It didn't matter which one I chucked out. It had to be a one of, which was the fighting, because I play 3 metal, to obvious reasons, 2 lightning because of the Lavencia, and then just in case I need to attack, 2 each of the psychic and fire. So that left me with 12. Is that 12 energy? Yeah. And I did not need to go to 13. I could not find a card to subtract here. Like, that's where I got the second boss from. It's been working great. Against every matchup, I've got a strategy of some sort. You know, against those 2 big decks like Raging Bolt, I'm not going to evolve until I'm ready to take a 2-prizer. They can take their 1 prize all they want. As long as I can go, 2-2-2 after that, I got them beat. And the draw in this deck is legit everything, right? Except the Klefki, but go ahead, knock it out, and then everything else is draw. Goldengo's a draw, Dragapult's a draw, Dracloak's a draw, Fez is a draw. So, I'm playing games where I got like 14, 15 cards in my hand. And pick and choose. Iono doesn't really hurt that bad, again, because of all the draw. I like my matchup spreads everywhere. The format is a little slower. So if I can get my Goldengo turn 1 going second, that's pretty good. Even if I prize 2, I got that Night Stretcher to get it back. Unless I take my first 2 prizes, hopefully I can find one of the 2 that are in there. So that goes back to the prizing thing of how many you play. 3-3 has been working. I hope it doesn't bite me. So, what do you like and what don't you like? Because I still have a couple days. I could change it, but I doubt it. This is pretty solid.
Chef, you hit it first.
I like the Klefki. And we talked about it a couple of times. You talked about how you had me do a little "Who's that Pokemon" on it. I think it's a good inclusion. I think there's a lot of basics in play that have abilities that kind of just ruin everything. Like it also shuts down poison package, doesn't it?
Yep. Can't poison. Can't Latias.
Yeah. That's
So if they start with
Gladius can't.
yeah, I was practicing today, and they started with Fez in the active. They were able to get Latias, but they couldn't retreat. So my first knockout was
Squawk.
Fez.
Gross.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and 3 of them in there too. That's commitment to the bit.
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
went all in. Because I used to play the Togekiss. So that instead of these 3, it would have been Togepi, Rare Candy, Togekiss. And the reason I did...
I hate coin flips, dude.
It won me a couple games, flipping the prize trades when I start behind. And the other thing was the Rare Candy can get me to Dragapult quicker. If I need
True.
it. Yeah. But I took
I love
those
the
3
3
out.
Klefki, man.
It's been working. I played a lot live, friends and stuff, and it's working. So we'll see.
I think you hear a lot of people say that Klefki is strong or Fluttermane is strong, and that's why you see, people put 1 into a Guardy deck. Putting 1 into your deck versus putting 3 into your deck, I think that you're going to shake it up in Atlanta.
That's what I'm hoping.
Shutting down you shut down the Ogre Pond draws.
Ogre Pond. Yeah, a Fan Rodon. How are you going to get your Hoot Hoot Noctowl now?
Yeah. You're not. You're just absolutely not. Honestly, I could have seen the 4 Klefki in the list. Just
Go-
because you've given me so many reasons to believe it is like a perfect opener that I want to see what a deck with 4 Klefkis looks like. I'm
Okay.
not saying change your list by
I'm
any
not-
means. I think you crushed it.
There's I don't know what to subtract here. Trust me, I tried. I mean, I went to the fact too. I'm not playing the fighting energy, which is everybody's like, dude, you're nuts. You got to subtract another card. I'm like, okay, pick one.
Yeah.
You know what I would drop?
I'm knowing you, counter catcher.
Dragapult.
Oh no. Well then, how do I beat?
You
How
just
do
ruin your deck.
how do I beat walls?
Get rid of it.
No.
I don't like it.
He wants you to put the baby Dango in. Don't run that EX trash.
Nah, the draw on this. I mean, if I have 3 Goldangos and 2 Dracloak, I'm seeing, assuming Goldango's in the active, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, and I'm going to be able to get 6 of them. And then if I just
Yeah, I was wondering.
if
go
I
ahead.
just get knocked out, I get 3 more from Fez. So even if you Iona me down to 1, I'm still going to see somewhere between 6 to 10 cards.
That's nuts.
Depending on how
You don't
many
have
I
to
actually
discard to get it.
No. It's just the only
Yeah,
thing you're going deep, and Dracloak gets you, deeper because it takes 2, and you subtract, put 1 back on the bottom that you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that Cypher, man. It is literally the best thing to do is sit there, Cypher during your turn because you don't need to boss or nothing or Arvin or anything. And put a Goldango and a superior energy. And I cannot say that without lisping. I don't even have a lisp. Superior energy retrieval. Put a Goldango and a superior energy retrieval on top of your deck. And I'll be like, go ahead, Iono. I don't care.
Yep.
As long as I got my Gimme Ghoul down, okay.
So I wanted to actually ask specifically about ciphers. You said you started with what, 1, then you went to 4, then you settled at 3. Is there a world where you run 2 ciphers and 2 Pokegear?
You could. I mean, that's just a really personal preference. But like
I get the cipher now that you explain it. Like I get having 1 more of cipher rather than the gear because the gear doesn't guarantee anything. You could whiff it.
Oh man, I was at a regional. I had 9 cards in deck. All I Poke geared. This is
No way.
round 3 against Charizard. We were gonna tie. I had 9 cards in deck. I Poke gear. Boss was number 8. I was like, I was so pissed. So we tied.
Rip.
It is a helpful card when you find it. But
That hurts to hear, man.
yeah, see, like it's just, I mean, maybe I drop it for the other energy, but you never know.
Is the other energy necessary? You're still taking 1-hit KOs.
You're still taking 7, worst case. But here's what I think: even if you prize a lightning and a metal, you still have another one to go get anyway. I'm still getting 7.
Yeah.
I could, if I'm prizing any of my doubles, I'm still getting it. So I'm getting 7 instead of 8. I mean, how many times did you actually always get 8? Usually,
Yeah, I would say very rarely.
6 or 7 you usually get.
Me are bound to prize. That's the conversation we've been having today. Prize cards are a thing, right?
Yeah.
It happens. You're going to lose components you need, but in a best of 3, you have to build a deck that's going to get it 2 out of 3 of those times.
Yeah, and the other thing with Pokegear is, let's just say I have it in my hand and I coin bonus for 2, coin bonus for 1, Dracloak for 2. I'm now 5 deep, and if I didn't find it, I'm basically going 12 cards deep to find that supporter that I need. So,
Oh, yeah. It'll just be when you're recording a YouTube video for it, you won't hit it.
no. But usually when you get that deep, you're like, okay, come on. I'm seeing 12 cards. Let's go. Give me
Yeah.
my dang Arvin.
Well, that's the thing with this deck. The 1 Pokegear is potent. You have quite a bit of supporters. You're going to see it, right? With how much draw you have, it is just insane. I really think, though, that this triple clef key, I would not be surprised if this makes like a legit impact. Like if people see this and how much it's going to shut down decks, specifically this poison package that you know will be in Atlanta, it's going to be everywhere.
Well, yeah, the number one I'm afraid of is gonna be Wellspring Ogerpon, because if I can't get if I go first and I only get one or even two babies down, I mean I got the only other one I can get down is now Fez. I'm gonna lose to Wellspring Ogerpon. So, but if one of them's Klefki, that shuts a lot of things down for them. They would need to find a switch. I don't even know if they play Switch. Do they play Switch? Not many people play Switch.
Terabox?
Yeah. Or they play
Terabox packs the Switch, yeah.
They do pack a Switch? All right. So but
And
that's
Latias, yeah.
But Latias won't work because.
Oh, you're right, because you've shut it down.
Yeah, shut it down. So they have to find that another card to try to get it, to try to get that Wellspring if they didn't start it in the active. So.
Not to mention, Teraboxes are playing one water and one sparkling crystal.
Is that it? They're only playing one
They got to
water?
invest. Yeah, usually, right?
Yeah.
Because sparkling crystal takes over what you need for a cost on so many attacks, right? So you run 4 grass, 2 lightning, 1 water, 1 psychic, 1 darkness, and 1 metal.
Dang. It's almost as bad as what I'm playing.
Yeah, they also dropped the fighting, and I agree with both of you.
Yeah, I'm not playing Ogerpon, so I don't need Cornerstone.
But I mean, the thing about the Terabox deck is they thrive on having the 4/4 line of Hoot Hoot Noctowl.
Exactly.
You came prepared to stop that.
That's shut it down. I think that's going to be a really big play deck, and your lovely poison. There's going to be our Chaladon poison. What else is poison now? I mean, everything. There's a poison package everywhere.
Roaring Moon is going to be played with poison in Atlanta. I guarantee it.
Oh, go for it. They're going to play Squawk, and they can't do it.
Yeah, I think that's detrimental. You're going to catch people in games where maybe it's a game 2, and they just got a brick for the first hand. They lay down the Squawk. They're ready to reset it. You open a Clef key. I mean, dude, give it up. Give it up.
Let's see how it goes.
Just so everybody is aware, when 3 Clef keys becomes the meta moving forward, it was Snipe the Bench that did it. Right here. Not right here. At his kitchen table, probably cooking a deck. But he did it.
Yeah, we'll see if it works.
So you said you did a lot of practice. Take us through your prep on, like, how are you choosing to practice? How, what all decks are you? Is it just the top decks you're practicing against? Are you getting a few weird ones in there? What does that look like for you? What's your routine?
Well, I mean, first it's ptcgl here, and just knocking it out, trying to figure out what combo works, and then it's just play against friends. Obviously, they want to play their decks too, which you're going to see whatever deck they're playing, and then we switch it up. Then I'll play something else, so I'll play a full Dragapult, so they can see how they go against that one. Then they take the Dragapult, and I'll play mine. Just constantly just going. I think one day, a couple weeks ago, we played for 9 hours, just constant. It was nuts.
That's what it takes to be the world champion, Snipe. That's what it takes.
To be the very best.
World champion's a little stretch. I just wanted day 2 at least. Let's start there, and then on Sunday we can make a new goal.
Yeah. All right. After you win Atlanta,
my goal is to just get to Sunday.
I do think that it would be awesome if you got on stream.
That would be pretty cool. Make sure you watch it.
Oh, I'll be watching
host a
for
watch
sure.
party on my Discord.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's gonna be watching. It's the first one of the format. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm very excited for it. Chef, you were talking about doing a little Discord watch party, right? We're We're coming up on the
Yeah,
end of our time block today. So how about you take us through a little hype for a watch party and then close us up today?
Yeah, man, I'd love to do a watch party. Just throw one up on my Discord, just kind of stream it there, and I'll watch it together.
I think
Be a
it'd be
fun
a
time.
blast. I will be there.
Nice, nice. Let's do it.
Well,
All right, you
Snipe.
want me to close this out?
Yeah, let's close it. Snipe, thanks for telling us your deck list.
Hey, no problem.
It's very cool to see players of your caliber like revealing their tips, tricks, and secrets. But it's even cooler knowing that you're a part of this podcast group and our squad that we're producing content with. So we'll be cheering you on. Absolutely. Best of luck in the tournament. And when Triple Clef Key is meta, we know why.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, man. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, well that's all the time we got for today. I want to thank you all for listening to the Damage Counters podcast. I have been Chef Husky, joined by Shifu Stew and the Snipe the Bench, and this has been the Damage Counters podcast. We'll see you next week.
See ya.